Have you ever wondered why your whammons keep nagging you constantly and picking fights over nothing? Turns out they're doing it because they just want a happy marriage. They legitimately believe that. Why do I pick fights with my husband? Because I want a happy marriage. See, this is proof that women can't be happy unless they're causing drama. They just outed themselves, man. Busted in 4K. The right kind of argument can apparently bring couples closer together. Is bickering about the bread bin a good start? These are all the same women that complain about being in bad relationships, by the way. Now, I want to get better at arguing, not the bitter, exhausting kind that happens online, and not the kind that occurs when you put two French people in a room and within 90 seconds, one of them is quoting Montaigne and the other has countered with Immanuel Kant, even though they are talking about, say, low energy light bulbs about which neither of them previously had an opinion. I'm interested in the domestic. I have never mastered the short, sharp spat, which can apparently be quite therapeutic. I wouldn't know. After an early phase of massive, horrible fights, my motto for decades has been why say something when you could just let it fester, explode at the worst possible time, be horrified, and grovelingly row back to the next time. Now, this is actually different, okay? So if you're stewing on something that just pisses you off more and more and more as time goes on, even if you're the problem, it's still something that needs to be addressed. Like this I actually agree with the author on. If something is really bothering you, you need to address it before it becomes a problem. And may I suggest seeking professional help for that? Because a lot of these people need it. But there's a scope for personal growth for even the most evolved among us. What, after all, is more evolved than silently WhatsApping pictures of the overflowing bin to a friend as your eyelid twitches involuntarily? I want to get better at conflict. I don't expect to enjoy it, but like kale or exercise, tolerating the unpleasantness has long-term benefits. But exercise isn't unpleasant, though, unless you're doing it to the point of utter exhaustion. Even then, I guess, if you get that high, maybe even that's not. The online poll in current year -10 suggested couples who argue effectively are 10 times more likely to have a happy relationship than those who don't. So let me actually rephrase that to what the article probably meant to say. Couples who are capable of working their shit out without pointless drama are 10 times more likely to have a happy relationship. If you're causing conflicts for the sole purpose of causing the conflict, I can guarantee you your partner is not enjoying that. And they're going to be in if they're not saying anything, they're in the same position you were in the previous paragraph. They're just letting it stew until it explodes. So to up my effectiveness, I've been reading The 5 Arguments All Couples Need to Have by therapist Joanna Harrison. Harrison identifies categories of surface argument. You never listen. Your mother drives me crazy. You haven't taken the bin out. Stop looking at your phone. We never have sex. Through which we express deeper fundamental issues about sharing a physical and emotional space with someone. Approached with curiosity and compassion, they can provide rich opportunities to learn about each other and develop. Now, this is true. Like, if you are in a relationship and you have any of those problems, you need to work them out. That doesn't mean causing pointless drama arguments, though. And what rich opportunities there are. The people we live with thoughtfully foster our personal development daily, filling our favorite mug with WD-40, piling washing in a moldering heap to dry, and turning the sink into an immersive art installation called something like Teabag Butter Knife Pan Soaked 9. Well, this is the point. Like, if you have two different people living under the same roof and they have two different standards of cleanliness, there is no way that's not going to result in drama. If you got someone who's a total slob and doesn't mind living like a slob, they're not going to bother cleaning up. You're the one with the problem. You clean up. And of course, if you're a clean freak and you're always cleaning up after a slob who clearly doesn't care, yeah, that's going to cause some conflict. So Harrison writes that she has even heard a variant of washing up fight, and I believe it. Dishwasher Tetris topped my unscientific survey of common fight topics by miles. We're all exercised by fork prongs and pre-rinsing. Some of these arguments, Harrison says, have a playfulness. They become more about expressing our individuality than the apparent subject. No, no. What are you listening to? Please don't fall for this shit. This is going to tank your relationship. I can see how that might be when you've lived with someone so long. Your mind meld is total, and you can look at a passing cat, both be reminded of the same minor incident in the current year minus 19, and then by some circuitous thought process say out loud simultaneously, we need more plasters. We exert our independent existence by disagreeing about the correct place to store ketchup. Wherever you expect it to be when you go for the ketchup is the correct place to store it, yes. So most fights are horrible, but these entry-level spats, if you will, feel manageable. Buoyed by Harrison's argument, I currently have, or encouragement, I currently have 5 of my own in various stages of their life cycle on the go. I'm not sure what the deeper truths they express, but they are. Bread goes in, not on the bread bin. I've basically lost this. The bread bin is now a mere bread display unit, which, as the biscuit tin, is now just hiding place to stuff for the stuff I'm keeping to myself. Now, my personal opinion on this, it should be in the bread bin because bread gets hard if if it isn't kept in stale air. Basically, it should be in the bread bin if you don't plan on eating it soon. But if you're gonna come back in an hour and eat the rest of it, just leave it on top. No one gives a fuck. Okay. So you can leave a low energy close air on overnight. That's the point of it. This is the war of attrition phase, on, off, on again, but angled so the telltale light is now out of sight. All right, so this one here, it depends. If you have that thing in your bedroom and you can't sleep because the light's on, that's a different story. Just move it somewhere else so the light's not a problem. Unless you're willing to sniff the milk, you can't get huffy about it being thrown away. Conceded reluctantly. Why is that one even a thing? So here, it's actually useful to have pets in situations like this because, like cats and dogs, they can smell when something has gone bad. So if you're not sure and you offer it to your pets and even they won't eat it, you know it's bad. Like, oh, okay. So I'm throwing this out. Recycling, you're doing it wrong. Never surrender. I think they're just not going to care. So a toaster with only half functional slot must be replaced. Well, it depends on how much you use it. Yeah, it's fine, I argue. You just flip the bread. The toaster is older than our children. What do you expect? Toast, says my spouse. I aired this one publicly and was informed definitively that I am, as read it, global arbiter of arguments would have it, the asshole. At least you learned your lesson, I guess. Despite this poor record, I am determined to keep fighting, a phase more often associated with heroism than bloody mindedness about domestic ephemera, yes, and thus growing. It's not about the winning, it's about the taking part. Yeah, this one, I mean, I guess maybe it depends on the personality of her husband. But if I was with someone that kept starting fights for the sake of starting fights just because they enjoyed the fight, I don't think that relationship would last very long. Because I enjoy my fucking peace and quiet. And if you interrupt it just for a pointless fight, yeah, that ain't gonna last.